Giannis scored 40 points in a duel versus Kevin Durant in a Game 7 thriller Saturday between the Bucks and Nets. KD finished with 48 points and sent the game to overtime after hitting a big shot at the end of regulation. But Giannis, he showed up big in OT while KD's luck ran out in overtime as he would go on to airball on his game-tying attempt, securing the win for Milwaukee. I keep thinking, guys, he had to be exhausted at that point. So Shannon, how much blame does Durant deserve for this loss?
The same amount of blame that you would assess to any other superstar, and the level of blame that you would assess to the greatest player on the planet currently is what Kevin Durant deserves.
Oh, you mean Lagon?
Whoa, hold on, Skip. It's not your turn. It's my turn.
Well,
I don't need no. It's my turn. Let me speak, because I'm going to turn the floor over to you. The way that you assign a superstar, the best player on the planet, has been established by one Skip Bayless. And it happened in Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors when LeBron James was 51-8-8. And Skip Bayless said, you gotta make the, you gotta do all this, yada, yada, yada. And in overtime, LeBron James didn't take a single shot. Well, Kevin Durant in overtime was 0 for 6. And he airballed the last shot. And I need to know why. You see, what happens is everybody was quick to jump on the bandwagon. Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet on Tuesday because he had a historic performance, and there's no denying that. But they asked him to do it again, and he didn't. They asked him to do it again, and he couldn't. Do you see what they asked Kevin Durant to do over the last 3 games? And let me say one more thing before all this gets lost, and I don't want all of this, none of this to get lost. Kevin Durant, the best player on the planet, had a 2-0 lead over Giannis. This is not a supers team. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a superstar, but this isn't a super team. You talk about how bad Trae Young shot. I'll see you, Trae Young, and I'll raise your True Holiday. Oh, okay, exactly. Shot 36%. Is that 36 better than the 39? Oh, I didn't think so. But anyway, back to my originally scheduled programming. At the end of the day, it's about superstars. That's what Skip Bayless always tell me. Superstars win this game. And if the guy is what you said he is, he should be able to do that. Now, Tuesday, we're talking about Jeff Green was 8 or 9 from the 3-point line. All Skip Bayless want to talk about was boom, and boom, right between y'all, 49, 17, and 10. They say, you know what, KD? Since Kyrie is out and James Harden is still hobbled, we need you to replicate that again. We need you to do what teams have asked LeBron James to do for 18 years. So what you saw on Tuesday for Kevin Durant over 1 game, we've asked LeBron to do that. His entire career, series after series, playoff after playoffs, and he's done it. And when he starts to wear down at the end of the game and he doesn't come through, you don't give him a pass. So with that being said, unfortunately, Skip Bayless, I'm not going to be able to give your guy a pass, Kevin Durant, in this. They lost this game on his home court, which I told you he would. After having a 2-0 lead, has LeBron James ever had a 2-0 lead and blown it? It's a simple yes or no. No. Yes or no, Skip?
I don't know. I
do know.
You must have looked it up.
No comment.
He had all those cakewalks through the East for all those years.
So when you got
cakewalks.
You got to think about what your guy had. This is easy. He was going to have it. He was about to get Trae Young. He was about to get a banged-up Clippers. He could possibly get a banged-up Clippers. LeBron was injured. All these injuries, everything was set up perfect for him.
Except he lost his other 2 running mates.
No. He's the best player on the planet.
He is, and he proved it by far times 10 once again. Speaking of going home, what did ever happen to LeBron? I don't know. Is he coming back next year?
Only thing, he got a head start. Because guess where KD is? The same place as LeBron.
Shannon, you have my sympathy.
No,
LeBron flamed out in the first round against the Phoenix Suns.
Your guy flamed out in the second round with a 2-0 lead.
My guy had the biggest liability I have ever seen in playoff games, named James Harden, who has a checkered past in playoff games, as we well know, because they're still looking for him in Houston from that night in that closeout Game 6 that my Spurs went to Houston, and James Harden was an absolute calamity. He couldn't do anything anywhere, and my Spurs won by 40-something points that night in a closeout at Houston. He has a track record of disappearing, but this was way worse than disappearing because clearly James Harden was playing on what they all claim to be a pulled hamstring. How do you play 53 minutes? So I watched 3 straight games, and Saturday night he played 53 minutes. That's That's all the minutes, right? That's the whole game. He played every minute just the way Kevin Durant played every minute. And you know what I nicknamed him during the game? He was Logo James. It's not because he was shooting from the logo. He was dribbling on the logo half the night, or picking up the ball and holding the ball on the logo, looking for Kevin Durant so he could lob him some dangerous loopy pass at the end of the clock so that Kevin Durant could try to take P.J. Tucker off the dribble with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. It happened again and again and again. It felt like James Harden was building a statue to himself, of himself on the floor during the game because he played like a statue. He was a cardboard cutout. He should not have played 53 minutes because he was a disaster. He held the ball so long. He put them in so many late clocks. He had no burst. He couldn't dribble by anybody. You could put your worst defender on him because he could not get into the paint. And when he did occasionally by accident find himself in the paint, he was like, I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should just lob this up in the air and hope it goes in the bucket. And he made a couple of lucky shots, but his three-point shots weren't shots. They were throws. He had to actually throw his three-point shots. And he managed to go 5 of 17 from the floor and 2 of 12 from 3. Are you kidding me? It's horrendous. And there was one potential saving grace. A kid who once upon a time won the three-point shootout on All-Star Saturday night named Joe Harris.
What happened?
And Joe Harris was an even bigger disaster because the stage was too big for Joe Harris. He finally got to this moment, and he had nothing but wide open shots.
After shot, after shot.
If we could see the final one that knocked me right off my couch, because this is for the marbles. This is to put them up 3 in overtime. Up 3 with 56 seconds left in overtime. It's just wide open. He shot it flat. It barely got to the rim. It was just horrendous. If we could see it one more time. KD gets blocked by Brook Lopez, but they get the rebound and give it back. That was Jeff Green kicking it for a wide open 3. By the way, speaking of Jeff Green, who scored 27 points in Game 5, he took no shots on Saturday night. No shots and scored no points.
But Skip, here's the thing. Look how little he played. What is Steve Nash thinking about?
I don't know. He played 13 minutes.
Thank you.
But you took no shots in 13 minutes. I have no idea how that happened.
Skip, the thing is that, first of all, Kevin Durant played the 3rd most minutes he'd ever played over 3 games period in his career. Remember that overtime series they went in 2014, but KD was 25. So you play in 48 minutes, you play in 40 minutes, you play in 53 minutes. And Skip, there were games during the season in which Kevin Durant and James Harden was logging a lot of minutes. And that was one series against Boston, Skip. Remember, he left them in trying to send a message that they played 40 minutes when they didn't need to play 40 minutes.
Okay, I give you that. All right, so it comes down to this. In regulation,